Hey there, my name is Kellee and I work for a school in Nairobi, Kenya called Sud Academy. The school is for Sudanese refugees who have been forced from their homeland because of civil war. In early 2009, I spent 5 months volunteering at the school. I was working on capacity building, teaching, establishing policies, recruiting board members, networking with international organizations, writing for a Sudanese newspaper, and fundraising for 6th grade 12 boys to attend their final year of high school. The need for Sud Academy is an urgent one. Although the civil war in Sudan officially ended in 2005, Southern Sudan remains one of the world's most underdeveloped regions. With a lack of schools, food, water, and hospitals, and ongoing tribal wars, many Sudanese refugees have stayed in Kenya where they have at least limited access to these services. Sud Academy provides its students with an education, a familiar community and learning environment, a hot meal of rice and beans daily, and the hope for a better future. Sud has over 300 students and is both a primary and secondary school. Many Sud students have missed years of schooling during the Civil War and can be as old as 30. Many more do not speak the local languages and are ostracized at Kenyan schools where tuition fees are as high as $1,000 per year. Despite their many challenges, Sud students ranked second this year in their district during the national exams and have won trophies in both soccer and volleyball tournaments this summer. So after my time at Sud Academy in the winter and spring of 2009, I decided to come home and raise awareness and hopefully support for this little school with big potential. I came up with a list of 6 projects that are integral to the success of Sud Academy's young and bright students, and I'll be traveling there in September 2009 for 3 months to implement these projects on the ground. Please have a look at this video and what we hope to do with future donations from people like you. Clean water is by far the most challenging problem facing Africa today. Every 8 seconds, a child dies from the lack of clean drinking water or waterborne diseases like cholera, typhoid, and diarrhea. It is often said that the best medicine you can give an African child is a glass of clean water. The water tap at Sud Academy is surrounded with raw sewage and human waste that flows down from the apartments above. Students drink this water despite its contamination because they have no alternative. Complicating the water situation at Sud is the devastating drought Kenya is currently facing. The tap has been running dry for months and students are forced to get their water from the swampy sewage puddles around the school. One reliable source of water is rainfall. This year we will build a water catchment system using simple eaves troughs, some piping, and a water storage tank. With rainy seasons shorter than ever this year in Kenya, it is important to collect what little rain does fall. Once the water has been collected, it needs to be purified. A simple but life-saving purification method is called SODIS, which stands for Solar Water Disinfection. The process is simple. Contaminated water is placed into a clear 1-liter PET plastic bottle and placed on a SODIS water table under the sun. After a full day of UV rays, contaminated water is completely purified and ready for drinking, washing, or cooking. The expected cost of this project is $6,000 Canadian.
The students, they really like to read very much. If the school could have been having a very big library, then it can be better than maybe just borrowing books one by one.
Sud Academy is in desperate need of books. Most students do not have more than one textbook and find it difficult to study without them. Some students come to school as early as 5 a.m., while others stay well into the night so that they can read the only copy of a certain textbook. They often spend hours copying lessons, stories, examples, and questions from the teacher's copy or from other students who have done the same. Our goal is to purchase 1 book for every 2 students in all subject areas. This book buddy project will cost about $5,000 Canadian. Next up this year is a breakfast program. Most students tell us that their lunch of rice and beans is their only meal of the day. By the time lunch comes, it's been 24 hours since their last meal. With an infusion of donations, we would like to hire a cook to make something called mandazi or chapati in the morning. Both are made from flour and are fried in oil and are the most typical breakfast foods in East Africa. To be health conscious, we'd also like to provide bananas or mangoes as well. Here's a video of former Sud student Francis and I explaining the need for mandazi at breakfast.
I appreciate the way Kellee has come to visit us this morning. Then he bought this mandazi, of which we are not able to buy it for ourselves.
This is mandazi. It's like essentially deep fried dough, and they take it with tea, or they eat it with tea for breakfast. It tastes okay. Although it's pretty greasy.
In addition to that, if you take this mandazi, then you take it with your tea.
Yeah.
I think you feel very comfortable.
Feel refreshed.
You're comfortable, you can study more.
You can study more, even you can have that
concentrate.
memory of understanding.
Yes.
And if you eat enough,
yes,
it will give you a very big belly.
You will be
Make
refreshed.
you very fat, which is why this is my first and probably my last. We expect that the breakfast program will cost about $12,000, feeding a total of 300 students 6 days a week for a whole year. In addition to these 3 major projects, more funding would allow us to address a few other needs at Sud. We would like to start a furniture building project where students would help build some badly needed desks and shelves. We'd also like to purchase a storage unit to lock away valuable school property, an important insurance against theft in the slums of Nairobi. Lastly, Sud needs a science lab so that we can educate our grade 12 students. Currently, there is no grade 12 class because a science lab education is required in order to graduate. This generation of Sudanese youth has been abandoned by their government and much of the international community for decades. With a school like Sud Academy, you and I and everyone we know can be a part of shaping their future and the future of Southern Sudan. Getting an education is the only chance these students have at lifting themselves out of poverty long enough to make a difference in their troubled homeland. Well, thanks again for watching my video, and of course none of these projects are possible without donations and support from people like you, so be sure to check out my blog at www.kelleejacobs.blogspot.com for updates, videos, pictures, and of course information on how you can donate. As they say in Nairobi, asante sana!